wants to chant?
We can do it.
Chant.
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ सहना सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
We will chant 14 and 15. Someone,
I can do it, Deepti.
can you do it by yourself?
Yeah. मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्याः तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत। यं हि न व्यथ्यन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःखसुखं धीरम् सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते।
यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते
यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते।
Rest is all good. So, one of the important pieces of priceless advice that Bhagwan gives us to deal with the onset of mental afflicted state, mental afflictions. Advice is bear it, endure it, सहन करो. With reference to the absolute nature of truth, absolute nature is changeless. You are that. Your very existence is free of the physical, skeletal system, the physiological system. It is also free of the subtle system, which is your thoughts and feelings and emotions, desires. Something that other person cannot see. Your physical body can be registered by everybody, but your state of mind, your feelings, that which cannot be seen by another, but is still an experience for you, that is your subtle body, that is your inner body, which is aprathyaksham, not visible to another or to any sense contact, not visible to you either. But you know it is there. You are aware of your thoughts, you are aware of your feelings, you are aware of your emotions. With reference to the physical body, your emotional body, your physiological body, your intellectual body, these are bound to be. You identify its nature. It is bound to be bhangur. Bhangur means bhang hona. Tanikam. Tanikam means they are there now. Even while you are experiencing it, it begins to go through the process of deterioration and then disappearance. Your thoughts, if you just sit quiet for some time as an exercise, even if it's for a few minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, and you just sit or lie down, whatever your comfortable position, and do not identify with any thought. Don't identify with any sense perception. आने दो, रहने दो, मगर जुड़ो मत उसके साथ. All the thoughts that will come up, don't identify with them. युक्त मत हो जाओ उसके साथ. Do not join with them. When any thought will come, especially in initial stages, many thoughts are there, which we don't register also. They'll come. And because you have maybe initially put a timer so that you don't have to be alert how much time, till then you're relaxed inside. I will do nothing. I will not react. I will not, even if there is a mosquito or a bee in your ear, and your tendency is immediate. You've decided, keep it 1 minute, 2 minutes, doesn't matter. I will do nothing. I'm just allowing the state of observation to happen. You see the nature of thought, जिसको हम इतना importance देते हैं, what we identify with as so important to us because we don't know anything else as our existence. When you do not identify with it, the knowledge you get is, even if you want to hold a thought afterwards, and bhangur, वो आता है, जाता है, it comes and it goes. You can't hold it. Keep one thought. Supposing I say, okay, keep the thought of matra sparshaha tu kaunteya. Matra sparshaha tu kaunteya. Matra sparshaha tu kaunteya. How long is it going to stay, that thought? It comes, it goes, you repeat it again. After some time, it just goes. This is the nature of every sense engagement. Everything that you call as your life, every aspect of it, right from what is seen physical world up to what you do not perceive but you experience, your inner world, everything has one nature, and that is, it has come, it will go. What has come is bound to change and finally go. This is a Siddhant, changeless. It cannot be altered. There will be no destruction of this Siddhant as long as creation is there. What has come will stay for some moments, will decline, begin changing, and ultimately will disappear. You can't remember something else. Have you gone blank? No. Something else has replaced it. जैसे ही कुछ गया, something else has come and replaced it. That means it's like as if it's a train, a long train, and if you're standing at the juncture and there's one compartment, second compartment, as one is going, there's another one already linked. It's already there. It's flowing with it. The entire nature of your experiences, in fact, by the very word experience, means it's change. Yet, this changing aspect of the world, however much we hear it, we intellectualize it, we understand it, we appreciate it, but we are not always ready for it. We are not prepared for it. Preparing for an inevitable change, which is inevitable, is a practice. Preparing a mind for an inevitable change is a practice. Bhagwan has said here, that which is changeless, जो आपका स्वभाव है, by nature you are changeless, your existence is that. But for some reason, when you are not identifying with it, what is that reason? Avidya. But your attention is entirely on the thoughts and the world. अभी हमारा ध्यान कहाँ है? Is it on me, the conscious being, the awareness principle, the one who is free of the change, the one who is able to see the changes in me, the one who has been the observer, the one who has the knowledge of me, the dreamer, the sleeper, the waker? Is my attention on that changeless principle, or is my attention on I have to either do this or don't do this, go here, don't go here, accomplish this, not accomplish this, etc. Or I have the knowledge of the entire thought world. Where is my attention? Bhagwan says, what is subject to change, sukh hai. If it is sukh, it is born because of a sense contact. Sense organs have contacted their respective sense object. That contact has brought either pleasure or pain. There is nothing third. Every sense contact has given birth to as if a pleasure or a pain. And this pleasure and pain which is subject, born to, which is born of sense contact, that by nature is anitya, agama apayinaha. It has come, it will go. That is going to be its nature. Can you change that? No. So, what is the best possible thing that you can do with it? He says, endure it. Endurance has got a very, in the present time, especially from how I've gathered the feelings in the society, is not a very acceptable trait. It's not recognized as a very valuable development in you. As I just said, endurance needs practice. We are not born to be enduring naturally. You need to adjust your mental thinking. You need to see the value of things. You need to see why is endurance a valuable quality. Is endurance seen as a valuable quality? Most of us. Is anybody saying yes? No.
It's more like punishment.
It's seen more like punishment, self-punishment. And you're given advice also. Why are you enduring it? Endurance means what? You have the knowledge, विवेक, बुद्धि, जो चीज में आपका कंट्रोल है ही नहीं. Things you have no control over. You already are quick in your discernment regarding that. Shita Ushna, cold and heat, hot. Shita Ushna, when it is in the weather, if it's very, very cold, do I have the capacity to say, oh, Surya Devta, please come? I have no control over it. Having the knowledge of what I have no control over, that being born from my sense contact has resulted in an experience. I happen to be there. What is the best way to deal with it? Bhagwan says, Titikshasva. Have titiksha. Swa, you have titiksha, O Bharata. Have titiksha. Have wealth. Have health. Have house. Have food. Have water. Have titiksha. What is it that is implied? There is a very quick discernment which comes with practice. 99% of our afflictions, generalizing it please, 99% of the afflictions are all at the level of senses and what experience they have generated. My senses haven't got the pleasure from something, then my instant reaction is change it, change it, change it. If they have given some pleasure, my instant reaction is let me have more, let me have more. It should not go, it should not go, it should stay, it should stay. That happiness that the senses have brought, pleasures, in fact we don't think so much. Anand, matlab kya hota hai? For an everyday person in Laukik language, when you don't have the knowledge of Vedanta, in your everyday life, what is Anand? What is happiness?
Periodic enjoyment.
Periodic enjoyment.
If all things are going according to you. If all things are going according to you.
The periodic enjoyment, if all things are going according to you. Now what is that enjoyment actually according to you? Combine both the sentences. What is your definition of that enjoyment? Where is that enjoyment coming from? Just go understand it. आप ही के शब्द हैं ये. That periodic enjoyment, when things go according to how you want them. What is the nature of that enjoyment? Where is it coming from?
From your desires.
Okay.
From the circumstances.
From the circumstances.
When we get what we want, and then the moment we get it, the happiness is also over and we want the next thing.
Correct. So where is it actually born? Where is that happiness born? In the moment it has got a contact. And that desire has presupposed it. The minute there is a contact, the happiness is as if born there.
Okay, in the sparsh, like The
Correct.
sparsh.
The sparsh. इंद्रियों का उनके विषयों के साथ जब स्पर्श हुआ, born in the sense contact, absolutely. इंद्रियों का बहुत बड़ी बात है ये. That's why I'm going to pause, because this is a principle. There is no Gita other than this one of this is Gita. If you're a student of Gita, means you have got it digested in your system. The prajna, the buddhi has formed of the importance of titiksha in one's life. For what? We will come to that also. So what is this education Bhagavan has given? इंद्रियों का जब विषयों के साथ संबंध बनता है, स्पर्श बनता है, तो एक आनंद का अनुभव होता है या फिर दुख का अनुभव होता है. If I have a rose with a thorn, two experiences have come. The rose smell, nose has got contact with the smell of the rose, and I have happiness. But by some error of judgment, I prick on the thorn. My skin has got contact with the thorn, and I also have pain. Watch carefully. Is the pleasure and pain simultaneously coexisting? At the same moment, is pleasure and pain simultaneous an
No.
experience? Probably the smell came first, so you got pleasure, and then you picked up the rose. What happened to that pleasure? The minute you picked up the rose and your finger touched the thorn, instant you said, "Ooh, ouch." The pleasure part of it has now already receded and gone. Matra sparshaha. O Kaunteya, they are of the nature of agama, aa gaye, and even while you are experiencing it, apainaha, going, gone. I gaye ram. By the time you have enjoyed it and acknowledged it, it has actually almost instantly changed. When something is of that nature, even if you have a rose and has given you pleasure and you do not prick it, that pleasure, how long will it last? It is there, the rose is there, it's a very high quality rose.
As long as the rose lasts.
Will it actually give you the same happiness? Even if the rose is lasting?
It keeps declining. It's just the initial satisfaction, that's all.
After half an hour, 1 hour, the nose stops registering the smell. There is a sensory acclimatization of the contact. इंद्रियों का अपने आप एक acclimatization हो जाता है. What is acclimatization? Means now the indriya is constantly getting that contact, but it is no longer being a source of registered joy in the mind. It's got acclimatized to it. So object is there, your indriya is there, but you don't experience the joy from it the same way. There's a decline of the enjoyment. Why? Because senses get acclimatized. That is why the minute you have acclimatization of a certain pleasure, what happens? You have the object still, but because it no longer gives you the pleasure, what do you need to do? you have to chase the pleasure again through some other sense contact. You have to change the contact. You have to get something else now to give you the pleasure. So what is the flaw of chasing sense pleasures? There is a flaw, there is a dosha there. उसमें दोष है. इंद्रियों के विषय में दोष है. आनंद है. Nobody will deny that there is no pleasure in the senses. Senses have pleasure. But are they exclusive pleasure? No, because A, the object can change. B, your senses will get acclimatized. C, situations can change. People can change. They actually undergo a process of change. By themselves, senses are not I'll take up that question in a little while, Shruti. By themselves, what is a sense contact? Is it correct to say that they both coexist? Happiness and pain, pleasure and pain, they don't coexist. But because they are like two sides of a coin, when one is going, another one is following. Pleasure will replace pain, pain will replace pleasure. What is the principle? If संयोग, इंद्रियों का विषय के साथ संयोग होना means जुड़ने से आपको आनंद मिला, which could also be a person. In the company of a person, I'm answering your question, Shruti. In the company of a person, if you got happiness, what is that happiness from? Indriyon ka judne se. It's not of the same level as sensory pleasure, of course, but it is still a contact-based pleasure. Whatever है, that is why अगर संयोग आनंद दे रहा है, so what does the wise person actually get ready for? What is if you have understood the verse and if you have digested it, if you value this knowledge, whenever I get happiness, I don't deny myself of happiness. Nature is bound to give me a lot of happiness in life. Whenever I am in a happy state of life or mode, what is a wise person readying himself for?
Dukha, a fall in relationship.
A fall.
It's not permanent.
It will not be permanent. There will
He keeps
be
a
change.
balance. He keeps
There
a
will be a
balance.
change. Sorry?
I said he keeps a balance.
That will be the next step. Correct.
Okay.
Once he is ready for it, that this is going to give a change. This is subject to change. The minute you say this is subject to change, I am enjoying it, my enjoyment doesn't deteriorate. It doesn't get replaced, Arey nahi, as if I will start with a Vairagya Prakarnam there. Kya hai anand isme? What is the point of having joy? Don't. You enjoy that thoroughly. In fact, you enjoy it more. And this is one statement I think many of us miss out on. When you have this knowledge, your level of sense enjoyments is increased because there is a readiness, there is a preparedness that a change is inevitable. You just don't know when. You don't know in which manner the change will erupt, but change will be there. When it will happen, you are not in knowledge of, but that it will not happen, will you ever fool yourself on that? Never. You can't get out of that knowledge that if my pleasure has come because of the person, your partner, you're happy that you have a partner with whom you can live a wonderful life. You're enjoying a life. But you're always ready for a change. Inevitable. That change that comes. Hope the question's answered, Shruti. That change when it comes, born from, recognize. I'll multiply these Shita Ushna example. You're fond of a particular dish. You eat it. What happens? Pleasure. As you're eating your favorite dish, you looked forward to it. You're having after some time. Even while you're eating it, what has happened? That pleasure quotient is slowly reducing. A time comes, you like it, and if whoever's serving wants you to have one extra spoon, ek aur, one more. What will you do? You'll throw up. The experience started with a lot of pleasure, looking forward to it, eagerness, enjoyment. I'm having it, the smell, oh, this wonderful blah blah blah. And then your stomach is full. Now one more please, one more. No. And if they force you to have for months now, that is not going to give you pleasure. Matra sparshaha. The indriyas give you knowledge of the objects, and in that contact, which brings the knowledge, which means this is hot, this is cold, this is salty, this is tasty, that this is red, this is nice music, that knowledge, इंद्रियों का जब अपने विषयों के साथ संयोग हुआ है, स्पर्श हुआ है, तो एक ज्ञान उत्पन्न हुआ है उस विषय को लेके और अपने को लेके कि now I know this is so. Matra sparshaha tu. When they contact, what happens? There are these dvandvas. Experience of dvandva. Dvandva means what? That which will replace that experience. They'll come together. Two sides of a coin. So if heat has been your pleasure, uska dvandva kya hai? What is its second? I wanted to draw this. Supposing you have a line, draw a line. On one side, this is cold. What is the other end of that line? Very, 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 very cold will it be? What is the other end?
Hot.
Hot. If you say very, very cold, that means this cold is going like that, in the direction of cold. Its other side is hot. That's called dvandva. Sense contact is nothing but the contact of dvandva. They come together, following one after another. They come together is not simultaneous. They follow one after another. And they all culminate in one conclusion. Either the conclusion is, I have got happiness, आनंद आया, बहुत मजा आया, आज बहुत अच्छा लगा. If you meet someone, whatever your sense contact, oh, I really had a lovely time, wonderful time. Or the contact will be what? Dukkadaha. You're waiting for things to end and you're waiting to get up and get lost. Sukha daha. It gives. Daha. Deta hai. इंद्रियों का विषय के साथ जब जुड़ना होता है तो वो सुख और दुख देता है. And this nature is, it comes and it goes. Anityaha. One word. नित्य नहीं रहेगा कुछ भी. So what is, I qualify this the first lesson of a student of Vedanta. This is your very first, our very first lesson. Who will be a Vedantin? Who will move ahead into establishment in Atma Vidya? Any one of us who can hold this piece of information. Anityaha. Uspe drishti drid. The knowledge that all this is anityam, there is firmness of buddhi here. That it is not going to be permanent. So who becomes a Vedantin? Who becomes drid in this knowledge? Because it is anitya. What will you do? All the good things you value so much. Because you in fact value almost everything so much that normally without this knowledge you would only value according to what fulfills your desire or not. If something fulfills your desire, you value it, normally speaking. But after this knowledge, you almost value everything in life. Why? Because in everything what has come, there will be a grade of pleasure in it. It will be replaced by some viyoga. Some separation will happen. Parents you separate from, then your siblings you separate from, then your your partners you separate from, then your children you separate from. Hopefully partners after children. But your children leave your home and etc. etc. That viyoga, if sanyoga gave you joy, viyoga is bound to give you sorrow. And if sanyoga gave you sorrow, viyoga will give you joy. उसके संयोग से अगर दुख था तो उसके वियोग से सुख होगा. This being the nature, Shastra says, Bhagwan says here, with reference to your experiences that are centered on the senses and they are the source of your pleasure and pain, if you attribute, impose upon it, I am happy, I am so happy, I am so sad. If my I is imposed on this aane jaane wale sukh or dukh, but natural, who are you? Who's going to get the bullseye? If you're I am happy, I am sad, if aane jaane wale indriyon ke sukh pe you are dependent on, you are centered on, then who are you?
Jiva.
Another word. In this
I keep
context,
forgetting.
in the context of the Gita that we are doing, what is Gita addressing? What is the purpose of Gita study? What does it do? What is its objective?
Moksha.
That is moksha, yes. But we said what? You are a samsari. Period. Correct, Shruti. If see the sentence, बहुत बड़ा, it's a beautiful revelation. If my happiness, absolutely. If my happiness is going to be dependent on ये जो इंद्रियों से जनित सुख और दुख है, आई एम डिपेंडेंट ऑन इट. I am happy when I say I love ice cream if I get an ice cream of what I want. Correct. If I get an ice cream, what I want, when I get that, I am happy. I am happy. What? Why are you so happy? Oh, I have an ice cream. Ice cream. I'm happy. What has happened to the happiness? You have made it dependent on the indriya का जुड़ना विषय के साथ. My tongue must contact the ice cream for me to get happiness. I hope the principle is becoming clearer and clearer. If my happiness, if I'm my qualification to say that I'm going to be happy, only when there is an indriya का विषय का जुड़ने से संबंध में जो आनंद आ रहा है, उसी में I can be happy. और जो दुख दे रहा है उसके वियोग से I will be happy. So bottom line is I should be happy. Is this point clear? If the joining of the sense organ with the sense contact and I say, then only I will be happy. Or when I get that, I say I am very happy now. And I believe in that moment of happiness that it is going to last. I'm not ready for a change that time. So normally, okay, one ice cream replaces another ice cream. Third ice cream, no. Too much. Another time. This dependency, I'm qualifying it now. Identifying that इंद्रियों के जुड़ने से जो आनंद का अनुभव हो रहा है, and then only I can call myself I'm a happy person. I'm very happy now. So I have superimposed my state of remaining happy, being happy, on what? I have made it conditional to the sense contact. I have conditioned it. I have put a clause there. अगर मिलेगा तो मैं आनंद में हूं, नहीं मिलेगा तो नहीं मिला. और अगर मिला था और दुख दे रहा था तो मेरा आनंद किस पे है? टूटेगा तो आनंद मिलेगा. These are not to be the dependent. Happiness is not to be qualified as your being. That dependent happiness is not to be qualified as your being. Because the Nityam, Atma, Nitya, Swarupa is unconditionally a state of happiness. Anand hai, Anand Swarup hai, Sat Chit Anand hai wo. वो नित्य सुख है. Other than that सुख, इंद्रियों का जो सुख है, अनित्याः, अनित्य है. Therefore, अनित्य वस्तु को लेके what should be the right value for it? उसका स्थान क्या होना चाहिए? आपकी समझ में, आपकी dependency पर what should be the sthan of it? Sthan means how should you place it? I'll give another example. If you're studying in school, you know education has a value. What should be the value of that education in your life? Is my question clear? What should be the education value of that education in your life? Is it a complete value? Is it an absolute value?
It is a relative value because it should leave you mature enough to deal with various situations, ups and downs in your life.
That education normally equips you for that?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, definitely doesn't. But that is how it should be.
Correct. So, what is that value that you should give while you are supposing as a student? What should be your value to that approach of educative, going to school, picking up a career, college, career, etc.? It is qualification. You are enriching yourself, sure enough, necessary. But can you depend your happiness on what this education is going to give you?
No, you cannot. And
It's
ideally,
circumstantial.
It's circumstantial. It will give you a job, it will give you status, it will give all this is fine. But is that going to be the sole reason for your happiness? क्या वही एक चीज आपको आनंद दे सकती है जीवन में? Is my question clear? It is only survival based. It will give you enough to be surviving good. Well, that's worthy of the pursuit. I'll just reconnect the sentences.
and possibly, Deepti ji, I think that is another reason why we see so much depression even among school children today, because it is only survival based.
Absolutely. Now, let's understand. After knowing also, we will not be able to correct ourselves very easily. What is going to happen here? The minute there is a joy experienced, do not stop the joy. If you have the knowledge, what will happen? Because I know it's going to change, what will I do?
You will prepare for the downfall to come. It will
That
not be
is
like
later. While the happiness is there, preparation is in a different stage. While the happiness is there, first thing, I will fully enjoy. So whatever is obstructing my enjoyment, I'll remove them. So I'll enjoy it till it lasts. Whatever is obstructing the enjoyment, at that moment, khatam ho jayega, badal jayega, that will destroy my happiness. I won't entertain those thoughts at that time. It has to go. I have understood what is there more for it. While it is there, I will cherish it. I will enjoy it. I will thoroughly engage myself in that, because it is a temporary source of happiness. But I will never ever get lost in that happiness, because I know its nature is, स्वभाव है इसका, अगर संयोग से आनंद मिला है तो वियोग में बहुत दुख मिलेगा, if I am not prepared. जितना आनंद मिला है उतना उससे बहुत ज्यादा दुख मिलेगा. That is why some people can never recover from the loss of a close person with whom that relationship they cherished. Sometimes you just can't recover. And it's considered okay in Laukik Vyavhar, fine. But here the topic is Tam Stitikshasva Bharata. Why? Because in the next verse he says, it makes you inwardly dhiraha. Who's dhiraha? The one whose knowledge is firm. Such a one who understands that while happiness is there, I will relish it, I'll enjoy it. I do not expect it to change overnight, but I'm ready if it changes overnight. While it is there, I will not dilute it by my contrary thoughts or thoughts that reduce my enjoyment from it. That is why in today's day I often would say, Grahastha Ashram is a beautiful place to enjoy relationships, but that itself is the place today where there are maximum problems. What is a Grahastha Ashram meant for? That human bond, that human relationship where you can actually enjoy, but it's riddled with struggles and pain and complexes and egos and likes and dislikes and jealousies and pata nahi kya kya, everything is filled in that relationship except the fact that you can enjoy a relationship. It is temporary. For whatever reason you are related. Your family is a member, 5 member, 4 member, 3 member, doesn't matter how many members, but it is for some reason you are together. What should be your outlook to that ashram? And today, people seek gurus only for what reason? They want religious organizations, they want gurus, only for those problems. Why is it a problem in the first place? Because connected to the verse. Because connected to the verse. Because why are there problems in relationships? Because
Expectations.
because connected to the verse.
People don't understand that it's circumstantial.
People don't understand it's circumstantial, right?
No,
Therefore, what is the solution? You're not ready for the change. The other side of the coin is being presented, okay?
lack of titiksha.
Ah! Who was that? Thank you so much. There is lack of titiksha. We don't build it. Did our school education teach us that? If anything, our elders taught us to some extent. But now with individuality rising, is it a valuable value? No. Why are you bearing it? Again, like last class we ended, nobody says bear adharma. Shastra doesn't say bear adharma. That's not to be. You fight for adharma. Don't bear it. Stand up. Do your duty. Oppose it. Resist it. What is wrong? Do not bear the wrong. But everyday life situations that you encounter in life that are a source of your happiness or unhappiness, that you attribute it to that sense contact, those things, everyday things, are actually the cause of our sorrow or happiness. Tan means those things what are not in your control at all, what are bound to be there, they have come by some law. They are there. However much you wish, it's not going away. But it will go away in its time. Is that time going to be dependent on the external thing? Your prarabdha, that word we will leave for now, but it is up to your own thing, your own destined to experience by your own earning. This sukha and dukha that will replace each other. First, knowledge. And if you cross this by holding it and establishing your inner state of mind in it, some of us already have it, but we just needed a reinforcement of knowledge to say, yes, this is right. And knowledge gives us the reinforcement here. Whatever is not going to be in our control, let's not waste time and energy wishing things the other way. Better is be silent, bear it. Keep doing what you're supposed to do is what he's going to tell us again. Forward. When you bear it, doesn't mean you bear and you become a... Yes, lack endurance. And we really lack titiksha in present world. What could have contributed to lack of titiksha? Can anybody extrapolate?
Possibly instant gratification.
Excellent. Instant gratifications, the more we have, the weaker our senses become. Weaker means stronger. Instant gratification, the more we give into it, there is more strength in the senses, means बहुत आवाज करते हैं, बहुत power gain कर लेते हैं. So what happens? वो dependency बढ़ जाती है. So you want it only this way. The इंद्रिय अपना ही भाषा में मांगता है. If it has liked something, then it will want only that, and then it doesn't understand the law of neutralization, acclimatization. Indriya has no viveka. Senses don't have vivek. Senses are only reporters. Who has vivek?
Buddhi.
By itself, buddhi has vivek?
No, us.
Who has vivek? Buddhi is the faculty. But who has vivek? The jiva can have vivek. What is that vivek of nature? When in life things are bound to be right, things are bound to be never to our expectation completely. There are always going to be shortcomings there. So it will never be that the senses will be satisfied with whatever it gets. What it gets, it gives them happiness, but it is never going to be satisfied forever. It will want more. Our best example always has been, how does a person become an alcoholic or a drug addict? How do they start? Or a smoker, a chain smoker?
और
Friends.
स्टाइल के लिए.
Peer pressure.
Okay. Peer pressure, style, life. See?
Somebody's depressed.
Somebody is depressed, okay. How do they start? In what quantity do they start?
One per day.
Exactly. After some time, if that's not the cause is not looked into, what happens? That one
Becomes a box.
and then one box
Smoker,
in few
chain.
months' time.
Chain.
That Devdas movie, that character which was drunkard. Drinking is no longer giving joy, but you cannot be without it. पीने से आनंद नहीं है, लेकिन नहीं पीने से बहुत दुख है. If your happiness is going to be conditioned in such a way, it's actually a very dangerous situation in which humans have brought themselves in today. If this is going to be the nature of our condition, of our state of living and being, then we are in deep trouble in a way, because senses will get acclimatized. We will need new pleasures constantly filling us. Why are rich people the most depressed in the world? Unhappy. They have no family life, they have no friend life, and all is superficial level. But okay. They have everything. But they also have huge psychiatric bills. Looking for something or the other in life. A very, 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 if any one of you gets to understand this verse well, here afterwards you will immediately realize, I will, that anybody ever tells you Gita is religion, you'll be able to understand how wrong is this interpretation. What has this got to do with religion? How scientific? Because science has got accepted. Otherwise, this is a science in itself, and I don't need the word science to say this is it. a law of life, who's going to give you the knowledge of a law of life? जिंदगी का नियम है ये कि आपकी इंद्रियां अगर सुखों, आप अपनी इंद्रियों के सुखों पे अगर डिपेंडेंट रहोगे, तो there is going to be a time that you are never going to be happy and you are always going to be miserable. That state will come not in 1 day or 2 days or 5 days, but say in 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, you will reach. That is why most of the people in middle age, what are they? Crying and cribbing. Or they have provided, in today's world, yes, you have a friend circle and you do what you like and activities and distract yourself is okay. So, this is pointing to saying, understand जीवन किस नियम पे चलता है. आपकी साइंस की नॉलेज आपको ये नियम नहीं दिखाएगी. इंद्रियों का विषय पे आनंद आता है, एक्चुअली ज्ञान का विषय है, बट जो आनंद मिल गया उससे, इफ उसी पे आप आधारित रहोगे and you impose your being on only that sense pleasure, and then you conclude only then am I going to be happy, this is a miserable place. This is a samsari, as Arjuna is experiencing. So what is truly the nature of Anand? What is happiness? How do you deal with this jo aayega jayega and my natural tendency to depend on nature, on indriya to give me vishay? Who is not dependent? Everybody is going to be dependent. Everybody has this by default. I like few things, you like some other things, and both of us are happy when we get things that we like, and we are very happy when what gives us pain goes away from us. I always say that between sukha prapti and dukha nivritti, which is a stronger force in us. दुख मिले ना मिले, लेकिन अगर दुख मिल गया तो उसका निकलना बहुत जरूरी है. There's an urgency. Dukha nivritti means abhi I have to deal with it now. Dukh doesn't matter, it's okay. Even if I get little, it's okay. But both of them are actually only one force. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. This beingness is happiness. But I don't understand this, therefore I want to be happy. Do you see the subtle point? Beingness itself is happiness. But I want to be happy. Wo means now there is a conditional existence. I have conditioned it to my requirements, I want it. To my ideas, I want it. To my hopes and fears and expectations, etc. I want it accordingly. I want things according to me. According to me. मेरे हिसाब से चलना, मेरे हिसाब से होना चाहिए, मेरा हिसाब, मेरी मर्जी. That which comes and goes.
We give more importance to dukh nivritti, isn't it?
Yes.
Happiness we take for granted many times.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing. Happiness, if I have that, why are we never grateful enough in life of what we have?
Because we take happiness for granted.
Because what we have and it's giving us happiness, we're already acclimatized to.
Right, right.
इसलिए हमें अब वो register ही नहीं होता है. In my
So
part,
also,
if there are 10 good qualities, what am I actually looking at? Am I happy for the 10 good qualities?
looking for the one that is missing.
That is missing. So what is really happening to my present state of existence and life? I already have 10 wonderful things to live with, but my mind is on. I'm experiencing the dukha of something not being there, and I want that to be attended to.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much.
So, this knowledge in the sense, see, word knowledge in English becomes like, oh ho, pata nahi kya hai, ye koi gyan hai, ye fact of life hai, you see it. It's not just words, it's not hypothesis, it's not speculation, it's not imagination. This is everyday life of every human. And the only antidote to this self-inflicted state of misery and sorrow that we slip into, Bhagavan says, with reference to relative things in life, शरीर यात्रा जीवन यात्रा में जो ये ऊपर नीचे होता है, सुख दुख आते हैं, एक्सपीरियंसेस द्वंद्वों के हैं, ऑनर डिसऑनर, लाभ हानि, you get profit, you get loss, you get health, you have some sukham, you get something happens. Life will be dvandvas. Those dvandvas, only healthy attitude towards this is. There is just one attitude. There's just one quality. There is just one development that you will have from yourself within. You'll have to develop it. Titikshasva Bharata. Have titiksha, O Bharata. ये जो आना जाना व्यवहार है जीवन का, ये जीवन का स्वभाव है, जीवन का व्यवहार है, व्यवहार में आना जाना है. There's nothing other than that. Nothing is going to stay with you. You cannot stay with anything. Nothing is going to be permanent. In fact, the reflection can be so beautiful that you are able to see. Absolutely fantastic. Reflection is that you are able to see, जैसे जल की धाराएं, as the river flows, and it can never flow back. What a beautiful law of life. What is called a river? What is a river? It only flows towards the ocean. Does it flow towards its source? For those of us who have been to Gangotri and tried go to Gomukh, गंगा कहाँ से निकलती है? निकलने के बाद, look at the bank near Uttar. It is a huge bank near Uttarkashi. You are amazed at the size of the bank. I've never seen such a huge bank ever. I can't imagine a few kilometers ahead. It is trickles. And then it's a huge bank. And by then, but the river is always going in the direction, one direction. Jivan is that. It is only in one direction. शरीर में birth है, so what is the direction it goes towards? If you've understood the verse, there is birth of the body. It will only go in one direction. What is that direction?
Death.
Towards death. It is going only in one. It cannot go back. So any amount of anti-aging cream and what is this? Etc. is not going to work. It won't work. You can't stop it. Everyone correct. You cannot change it. It is going in one direction. What is life? It is going, as long as you're an embodied being, you're in the flow of experiences. And those experiences are all ever changing, like a river. If it gets stagnant, it's already a source of sorrow. If your life is stagnant, how miserable is that person? Stagnation is not desired by anybody. कुछ इसलिए हम करते रहते हैं, कुछ सीखते रहते हैं, कुछ कोशिश करते रहते हैं, because stagnation is against the nature. थम जाना, ठहर जाना, रुक जाना. From Vyavaharik Drishti we are talking. This Prakaranam is now Vyavaharik, not Atma Prakaranam. So with reference to everything that happens in Vyavahar, the good things, you are going to be very careful. Never ever undervalue it. Enjoy it. Respect it. It has come by some, that's why we say by some anugraha. We call it anugraha. Good times we say kuch anugraha hai, something good has worked. Have a thankfulness in your heart. Enjoy it thoroughly. Ready mentally. Go through the exercise once in a while of being prepared that anything that's giving you source of joy, get a mental preparedness. It can change, it will change. What does a person who has that vidya, that everything in life is agama apayinaha anityaha, and it is only matra sparshaha kaunteya, and we are all kaunteyas here. Oh Kaunteya, Bhagwan's talking to us. So what Kaunteya? I'm Deepti Kaunteya. What are you? Your name Kaunteya. Oh son of Kunti, oh daughter of Kunti, what is the nature of world? Ever changing. क्या करना चाहिए इसका? Don't be a fool to keep wanting things that are not in your control to change them. Don't be a fool to mess it up further. Bear it. It will change. And that bearing should be Vivek Chudamani verse, don't forget, without vilapa and santapa. मैं only. Don't keep on verbalizing your sahan karna. Don't sit in arrogation of मैं ही सहन करती हूँ. That is not called sahan karna. That is not titiksha. That is self-indulgence. That is self-pity. That is that is egoism. Clearly, मैंने किया, मैं ही हमेशा सहन करूं. ना करके देखो. What will happen? So having that wisdom, viveka, to discern what is to be possible to be changed, yes, change it, no problem. But am I equipped with forbearance without changing it also? Or what does forbearance do? It is not a negative quality. With reference to all this that changes, the last line Bhagwan gives you the solution. What is titiksha and how do you deal with things that have to change? Teshu, with reference to these, agama, apainaha, shita, ushna, sukha, dukha, all dvandvas, with reference to them. Teshu harsham vishadam va, means harsham va vishadam. Harsh, ya, vishad. Ma karshihi. Ma means do not. Do not indulge in it. Do not do. Do not get flowed away by either. Do not delude yourself by either. Do not delude by either. What? Neither harsh nor vishad. Why? Can any one of you say? With reference to the verse itself that we have learned just now.
They will both end.
They will both end. Why will they both end? Because
Change is inevitable.
change is inevitable. Because
It's all samsaric.
it's all samsaric. Because
Anitya.
anitya, excellent. Because
The senses
All
contact.
two sides of the same.
it has been born because of sense contact, period. It is Shanbhangur, it is Anitya, correct? It is born because of a sense contact. It is not your nature. इंद्रियों का सुख है ये, आपका सुख नहीं है. आप सुख. Why are you imposing your happiness on इंद्रियों का सुख? It's a subtle difference. Because he started with Atma Prakarnam. Atma Nitya hai. That Nitya Atma is Sukha Swarup. Nitya hoke hi it is actually Sukh. And here our concept of Sukh, we can't even imagine what we mean by Sukh, really speaking. Can any one of us, before we delved so much into the Shastra, can any one of us understand Sukh? What will be our understanding of Sukh? It's very limited understanding. हमें चाहिए बहुत सारा, but our idea of Sukh is actually only in little things. There's this beautiful story, a parable, a story, whatever you want to call it. In a jail, prison, there were inmates there. So on Independence Day, on the occasion of the 75th celebration, Independence Day of India, celebrating that, the President of India decides to visit the prison and to all the inmates gives them one wish, that he's a president, he can sanction everything. So he visits it to celebrate the 75th year of Indian independence and goes to inmates. The prison he visits, there are about 300 inmates. Each one is asked, whatever you want, the president's going to give to you today. Everybody asks something or the other. Somebody asked better food, somebody asked better bed, somebody asked a television, somebody asked a mobile phone, somebody asked newspaper. Simple things that they thought uske bina wo dukhi hain. Very important story. You can delve on this for the rest of our lives. We can. जिसके बिना उनको लगा वो दुखी है. If in this condition I get a television, I'll be more happy. If in this condition I have better food, I'll be more happy. If in this condition I have a separate toilet, I'll be happy. If in this condition I'm given a chance to, etc., etc. It went on. 299 gifts were presented. President reached the 300th inmate. What do you want? He says, freedom from the jail. I want freedom from jail. President can sanction it. He can overrule every punishment. President has the power to give you now freedom from jail. Order. The rest of 299 people suddenly realized, what did they miss? Within the jail, they want things to come. इस स्थिति में इस चीज को बदल दो, उसको ले आओ, उसको. It's a fascinating thing to see how we are so dependent on conditional happiness.
We are the inmates.
We are the inmates.
All the 299 ones.
We are the 299 ones. Absolutely. We want small adjustments to our life. And most of the people, I tell you, there's some people इतना grip करते हैं कि, you know, my ears get, and my heart beat changes because I'm tired of listening to so much cribbing in life. How is it possible? They don't attend Vedanta classes, unfortunately, sadly. If you understand just this much, I tell you, you will start looking at every person with a new vision. Same person, same partner of yours, you know, for which you found faults, you will admire him as him or her, as Bhagwan's creation. What is short life? What is life? 30, 40, 50 years you'll spend with a person. How should you spend that? Is it in your control? What is in your control? Can you execute that much at least? And it's not possible if you don't have diksha. Even human relations need it. That is what one of, I think, 2 classes before I was mentioning. The importance of the diksha is coming in the realm of relations. Arjuna's crying in the realm of relations. His relations are going to be disrupted. Those that have given him joy are now going to be ending. And that's giving him grief. So, agama apainaha tans titikshasva bharateshu harsham vishadam vama karshihi iti arthaha. This is the meaning of that. This is one meaning, tatparya of the verse. Shankara has given this. Teshu, with reference to these sense pleasures. If they give you enjoyment, don't drown yourself in that enjoyment. Remember, it's temporary. Mil gaya hai, enjoy, okay, forget it, but it has no more value than that. It is ending. Even while you're enjoying it, it is reaching its state of ending. Va vishadam, or if something has come as a unpleasant thing in life, do not slip into it and depress yourself beyond normal. Don't have that. Shastra says, start with titiksha. And what will happen because of titiksha? He says, because of the titiksha, yam hina vyathayanti ete. Yam hi, those people. Bhagavan says, yam hi purusham. They are purusham. Yam hi na vyathayanti. Vyakulona. Chalayanti. Restless hona. Ghabrana. Agitate hona. Those people who do not get disturbed, O Purusharshava, O bull amongst men, you are a strong-minded person, you are a strong man, mentally strong person. What will happen to those people who have titiksha? First, they don't get afflicted easily. Because of titiksha, there is less affliction. Because of less affliction, sama dukha sukham. Sama dukha sukham. they remain fairly equanimous with sukha and dukha. They have the same value for sukha and dukha that are born from indriya. They have the same value for it, actually speaking. Later on, this verse is going to have connection very importantly with another verse, where you say the jnani has a same value for a piece of stone, for a piece of diamond, or the waste of animal. He sees everything in the same drishti. Dukh और सुख में जो सम है, and you can actually identify it now. अगर इंद्रियों से जनित सुख आया है, and I had drowned myself in that sukh, I'm thinking ये last होगा. Whose mistake is that? Whose fault is that? Whose lack of thinking is that? Fault is only in the sense of lack of thinking. किसकी lack of thinking? Who did not know that these will change? It is my own lack of preparedness. So I thought the sukh will last forever. Or if dukh is there, oh, this difficult time will be there forever. That sukha, dukha, sama, remaining the same. Who is such a person? It gives you dhirata, dhairya. Dhiram is such a person. He becomes a dhiraha. Dhiraha means now he's not only as a quality, he has a dhairyam. His buddhi is now in relative acceptance of things as they are. As they are. His buddhi is in acceptance of things. Therefore, what? Taha, such a person. Amritatvaya kalpate. He gets kalpate, samarthaha. He now has samarthyam. Samatvam between sukh and dukh gives him the samarthyam for amritatvaya, amrita bhavaya. Amritatvaya is equal to amrita bhavaya, and amrita bhavaya is equal to mokshaya. Now has the samarthyam for samsara nivritti. Gains the samarthyam for samsara nivritti. No, it is not meant for any gradation of sukha dukha. I will later reread it and maybe, but no, there is no gradation. So, amrita bhavaya mokshaya samarthyam. Who gets the samarthyam? Who will have the samarthyam?
Who has
Who
the
has the
diksha?
diksha?
Absolutely. Who has the diksha will develop samarthyam. Is that samarthyam valuable or not valuable?
Very valuable.
For what? Is it only going to be valuable to conduct your life? The value is such that it will free you from the journey of life and death. Such is the high state of value. Everything under it will automatically have a value. What was that hierarchy? In management, they have that hierarchy. Pavlov's hierarchy?
Maslow's.
Maslow's hierarchy. Correct. Maslow's. Whatever is on top, everything under is automatically taken care of. So if moksha ka samarth de raha hai wo, so everything that falls in life is obviously he is equipped for almost everything. What will be his life journey? even relatively. Such a Dhira Purusha. What is going to be his life journey?
Easy.
Is that not what all we want? Not only easy, what is?
More.
Dono.
Whatever we want from life, peace, happiness, joy, harmony, friendship, people caring for us, a beautiful environment just to be living normally. How does it all come? Titikshasva. Absolutely. Finally, Jivan Muktaha. Such a Dhira Purusha establishes in the Atma Vidya because his Atma Vidya is there. He knows all this is temporary. How do you get the vision that this is temporary? In the light of what is permanent. And such a person is automatically going to be, it's a different quality of life itself, which no amount of material change will qualify. Any amount of acquisition of better material things will not amount to better life. Maslow's hierarchy of needs model. It will not amount to a better life. A better life comes with a better mind, a better mindset, and a better mindset comes with better information, correct knowledge of what? Of things on which life depends. जिसको हम जीवन अपना कहते हैं, वो जीवन की क्वालिटी क्या है? It's not going to come from outside. Nothing comes ready-made. Your own attitude will bring things to you. Your own attitude will make things happen. In fact, your own attitude makes them or breaks them. Both. That discernment has to be there. So, we'll continue with this 15th verse tomorrow also. And there was a question I said, question Vani, I'll read again and then maybe later. Yes, there was one more question. Endure the tiksha or pleasure. It's the same thing actually. In fact, it is not interesting that Bhagavan uses endure. In fact, that's the teaching, that you endure it. It is our idea that we see pleasure and pain as separate. We don't want pain. Absolutely wonderful. The instant gratification in the context of a loving relationship. If you could explain instant gratification in the context of a loving relationship, I don't know. Instant gratification in the context of a loving relationship. A loving relationship is actually a relationship which is based on values. Where there are values that are lived, that relationship becomes cherishable. Loving word, I do not know how to relate much to that word. Instant gratification is all egoism if you are going to relate to a person because of your needs. If a partner is traveling abroad and one of the partners is traveling abroad, has to travel in 2-3 weeks' time, and is now suddenly emerged as concerned about the other partner who travels a lot within the city, and suddenly the person who's to go abroad will be concerned about the person who's, wear a mask, do this, suddenly out of the blue. Natural tendency is there, yes, to care, but now that heightened care has come up because of, that's what I would say is instant gratification. It's all sensory pleasures. It's all reducible. If you think a little, then you would get the answers also. What is Maslow's? What is Grahastha Ashram? What is Grahastha Ashram? What is an ashram? जहां आश्रय है, जहां आश्रय करते हो. गृहस्थ, ग्रह, ग्रह is home. स्थः means रहना. जब जिस घर में रहते हो, जिनके साथ रहते हो, when you can live there with these values as you would live in an ashram with strangers. Look at your grahasti as a stage of an ashram. Ashram avastha. Grahastha ashram avastha. So making a home not a means for just what is the right word? Pleasures and self gratifications, but making a home conducive for growth, peace, harmony for the members in that home. उस ग्रह में रहने वाले, उस घर में रहने वाले जो साथ रह रहे हैं, there will be niyams that must be followed for all of them so that the house has an environment of happiness and is conducive for growth for the people who are living in that house. And it is possible. One of the big things is titiksha.
But how do you convince all the family members?
You don't convince anybody. You live.
But then, I mean, if they are not following, then it's not a grihasthashram then, right?
No, it still remains grihasthashram for you.
Right.
And it will automatically imply outside. It may take a little time, but it's impossible that if you are doing the right thing, it will not get countered by the right, even if it was wrong in the beginning from the other end. So we don't wait for people to change or follow our principles, our understanding. We live. That's why we always end with ya pashyati sa pashyati. You will at least become freer and freer. Nature will reward you for your effort. You will get freer of the samsara. Emphasis on endurance along with what we can do in a bad situation. Only endure, just not associate any visha. Correct. Yes. Emphasis of endure is along with what we can do in a bad situation. Yes, you can endure a difficult situation. Is endure it without worsening it. This is a very important thing. People in a difficult situation don't have the wisdom to control their reactions or actions or feelings or words, and they kind of complicate it further. So not worsening it further would be that level of endurance, and not associate it with vishad, definitely, and not stop putting in the effort that needs to be put in. Never totally end it at that. In a parental relationship, what is instant gratification? I don't think there's any. I may not be understanding it well also in a different. Parental relationship is parent-child relationship. What is in a parent-child relationship for gratification? I don't understand gratification word with a parent-child relationship. A parent is gratifying with a child is gratifying with the parent. You can think about it. If there's a related question, then yeah, we'll take it up. Okay, let's end here. Any other question? Anything I've left out? I will read all this later also. If there's anything, I'll pick it up tomorrow. That's it. Can you end the invocation?
Sarvesham swastir bhavatu सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति.
Before I forget, I
Thank
have an announcement. I always keep forgetting an announcement. Please, I will not be uploading from here onwards for some time, maybe on YouTube. I will upload up to 8 classes, or I think up to 10 it can hold. I'm not sure yet. On my website, I did send you mail regarding who was following later on the recordings, and I'll send you emails of the link of the recording. But I think better would be that I just upload it on my website, deeptivishwanath.in. So I will upload the classes. The Facebook class will also immediately be unpublished. The recording of this class will be uploaded on my website. There will be up to 8 classes, I think, that it can hold the capacity for. So as the newer comes, the older will go away. And once we finish maybe a few chapters, I will upload it then on YouTube sometime also later on. But for now, we will keep it as the recordings on the website. Therefore, if anybody is following on Facebook, on YouTube, you can visit the website deeptivishwanath.in and it will be uploaded there for a few weeks. It will remain so that you can revise. And idea is now we are into actual study of the Shastra. So we will go back to the recordings with an idea that they are temporarily there, and if you need to make any points and revise anything, you'll have more inward discipline coming forward to stick to some schedule or stick to some repetitive, disciplined habit formation. And yes, few of you, though I think very few of you have answered the assignment also. I think the first few verses also, now that we move on, every verse is going to be extremely heavy with knowledge. बहुत ज्ञान है. Each verse will have a lot of knowledge. So my suggestion would be that with every verse, keep consolidating it then and there. So you'll have about 8 weeks to consolidate one. So if you don't consolidate, you may tend to forget what will come ahead. So what you derive, what you don't derive, and of course based on your interest, we may make the assignment a little more regular with smaller portions rather than at the end of the chapter, so that you are able to more focus on the material. For those who are doing it, Akanksha, you have never ever submitted one, though you were the one who requested, and because of that I started doing it.
Diptiji, did you put up a assignment for the second chapter also?
No, not yet.
Only for the first, right?
I think that we've just done one, but I will. And those who have done very well. I must congratulate you for those who have. And those who have not, don't worry, it's not compulsory at all. This reinforcement of knowledge. Okay, so once more I'm repeating, this will be uploaded. The recordings here afterwards will be uploaded. Correct. On my website, deeptivishwanath.in. If there is a problem in uploading, since it's going to be very new for me also, if there's going to be a problem, then I'll send you a link on the emails. But first preference will be let it go on website so that I'm not doing extra work. So thank
So
you everyone.
website one will be video recording.
Anji, website will be
Website recordings will be the video or the audio.
this class recording. Website will be the class recording, and also on website will be the audio recording, which started from first chapter. So that is going to take some time. So audio recordings will remain on archive.org or ever. This class recording will be this class recording, unedited, completely, as is, so that you have an entire till it goes. And after, whenever we reach the 8th, the first one will go, so the 9th will come. So it will go into that, right? And maybe after 2-3 chapters, we will upload it on YouTube later. That I have not yet decided when. We'll see how it goes. So far, I'm clear.
And whatever is there on YouTube,
That'll remain. Good question. Yeah, somebody else had also asked. Whatever's already there is going to remain, please. So don't worry. It's from now onwards. I'm not changing anything. Now onwards, today onwards, it'll be on website. And it'll be limited time. The important is it'll be a limited time.
Thank you very much, Pranam.
Thank you, Dipti.
Thank you, Dipti. Namaste, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Deepti.
Thank you, Deepti ji.